Every day, thousands of homeless cats roam the streets, living in alleys, under cars, and in abandoned buildings. These cats face constant danger from traffic to disease, and they need our help.
So how do you first get involved in taking care of homeless cats?
Well, about 15 years ago, when my daughters found a bunch of cats in the parking lot of our Havertown apartment complex, they started bringing them in and we found homes for most of them. There were 2 black cats that I refused to name because we were not keeping these cats, and it was baby boy and baby girl. Well, 13 years later, we still had baby boy and baby girl. Baby boy has recently passed. But at that point in time, we saw a lot of cats out in the parking lot because the lady was feeding them, but she was letting them breed, which is not an ideal situation. If you're going to feed them, you should get them trapped, neutered, and released. There are some low-cost clinics. You just have to look them up, and they will take them, vaccinate them, give them the shots they need, neuter them, and then clip their ear so you can then return them where you found them.
What motivates you to continue caring for these cats day in and day out?
Well, in the beginning, most of them were so feral and fighting and trying to kill each other. So they were spraying and spreading fleas, and a lot of them were sick. So the only way to prevent that is to start to care for them and then get them fixed. And once you start caring for them, they keep coming back. So much so that some of them have learned how to open our sliding door and will just come in to let me know they're here. And how can you not love an animal, any animal? Unfortunately, some people don't and allow their dogs to go after them or kick them or try to poison them. That's not going to solve the problem, because the only thing that's going to happen is another colony will move in anywhere that there's a food source. So if you have water, like a creek or anything by your house, or if other people are leaving food out, they will come out and they will get it. Also, there's a lot of mice and fields around, and they're attracted to that. So the best thing to do is get them trapped, neutered, and released. See that poor boy? You see he's all shaved. He just got neutered yesterday, and he had a little shit factory in my house. Wow. So they had to shave him all. See, he's blind in one eye because in the beginning he was too feral and I couldn't get the medication in his eye, which led him to be blind. And there's another one that's same situation.
But trappers don't just catch cats. They also educate others about the importance of spaying and neutering cats to control the population, and encourage people to volunteer their time and resources to help homeless cats.
Besides the financial issue and making sure that they're fed, getting medical attention, and getting them trapped, neutered, and released. During the pandemic, everything was shut down. So they continued to breed. Now that they've reopened, the lower cost places that you bring them to are so backed up and overwhelmed that we couldn't get anyone to help. Animal control no longer takes cats. Now that it's all no-kill shelters, the shelters are too full and there's no place to put these cats. But because the law does not require you to neuter your own cats and people get tired of them and put them out, they just keep reproducing. Unfortunately, there simply isn't the financing or the laws that should be in place to prevent this.
Volunteers are an essential part of the effort to rescue and care for homeless cats. They help with everything from feeding and cleaning to socializing cats so they can be adopted into loving homes.
Past year, we found 4 or 5 adult cats that were about 8 months to 9 months old, actual homes, because I began to train them where they will come over, clip their nails, clean their ears, give them medication. When you whistle, they come when called. And my daughter started posting pictures of it. She spread it to her friends and their family, because you don't want just anyone saying that they'll take a cat. A lot of places are doing testing or they just want to do harm. And luckily we did find the 4 adults' homes and the one that was a little younger a home. We also just got rid of 5 kittens. At one time we had 3 females in the house that all had kittens within a week of each other. And those cats now keep coming in, even though their kittens are all gone. So that's, and that orange cat we call Binks. He used to live in the building, and his owner had a fire in the house way before I moved in here, and he got displaced. So somebody went, the same trapper that had Tony, took him down and got his ear clipped because the lady on Glen Avenue was feeding him and was feeding him for years. But unfortunately, the people who lived next to her had dogs that were not so kind to the cat. And one day I found him sitting on my back porch with holes in his back and half frozen. So I brought him in, warmed him up, gave him care, and the vet had said he wouldn't live past a week. Well, it's 3.5 years later, and he's still alive. He comes in every night to go to sleep with me. So, it just takes time and patience, and then they'll come around. It doesn't take much to care for cats. If they are feral and you're afraid to go near them, you just put some food out, set up, eventually they'll trust you enough that you can put traps out, get them trapped, neutered, and released. If you want them not to be feral and turn them into strays, you put the food down and just sit down patiently. Eventually, they'll start coming over and you can pet them. Now, I know a lot of organizations tell you not to touch or pet a feral cat, but you'll know when they're coming around and no longer feral when they stop hissing or being upset when you come out and stop running. If you see a cat with their ear tipped, that means they've already been vaccinated, so you're safe to go around it. There's a great organization called Neighborhood Cats that has podcasts. It's located in New York. They also have where you can pay $10. You take a 4-hour course, you take a 10-question quiz, and if you pass, you then get a certificate for trap, neuter, and release. If you want to take care of cats, the responsible thing to do is to absolutely, you can feed them, but don't feed them and let them breed. You have to get them trapped, neutered, and released. People send food. If people want to donate to the clinics that offer the low-cost spade and neutering, like here, there's one in Sharon Hill called the Spade Club. There's one in South Philly that we have just brought 4 cats down in the last 2 weeks. That's called Ferry, PAWS. Donate to those kind of places because they're the places that are taking the cats and doing the trap and neutering for $25, $30. And in some cases, if you live in that area, they actually will do it for free. A lot of people just don't want them around. They'll say they pee or they do this or they do that. Now male cats will spray, but once you get them neutered, that is no longer a problem. Also, people think, oh, they're going to spread the fleas and they're going to do this. Again, if you get them trapped, neutered, and released, they give them flea things, they give them the vaccines, and you can easily put in some cap action, crushed pills in their food, which prevents them from getting fleas. A lot of people just don't like the fact that the cats are around. They're not going anywhere. As fast as you get rid of a colony of cats, another one will move in because they're not there. If you get them trapped, put them back where they are, eventually the males will go off to try to find females that they can mate with, even though they can't mate anymore. And the females will protect the area so that there's no other colony moving in. Also, they get rid of the mice and the rats, and they keep everything at bay. And if you are someone who's feeding them, they will protect their territory. So you won't have to worry about rodents. I hope that people get them trapped, neutered, and then place them back where they were picked up from, so that there are not so many cats breeding. There's an estimated 22 billion homeless cats in the United States alone. If we don't do something and get them neutered, they're going to starve, they get disease, they'll spread the diseases, fleas, and everything else. So the best thing to do is to get them trapped, neutered, released, feed them, care for them, if you're able to, and if not, if you take them down and get them trapped, neutered, released, and there's no place, there's always good Samaritans who are going to put out food and feed them. So that's your best option.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for breaking this down for us. And what type of cat food would you like for people to donate?
They love Friskies, but I'll put out anything. And wet food is much better to give to homeless cats because they can get the water and all that they need. It's also got more nutrients in it. It's okay to put dry food out, but honestly, wet food is what is required for outside cats.
Awesome. Okay. Is there any other information you would like to share with us about cats or about your mission?
No, honestly, like I said, how you treat the cat is how they're going to respond. If you are loving to them, they're going to be loving back. Ours are trained. They come when you whistle. Some of them are trained when I snap my fingers to sit. If a male starts to get aggressive, I can come out and clap my hands and go away. Or I've actually picked them up when they're trying to mount a female and remove them. They don't scratch, they don't bite because they've been trained. It just takes time and patience.
Wonderful.
Thanks to the hard work and dedication of trappers and volunteers, countless homeless cats have been rescued and given a chance at a better life. So if you love cats and want to make a difference, consider volunteering with a local trapping and rescue organization. Together we can help more homeless cats find safety, care, and love.